Hello amigos, how's it going? Right, back at this loft extension. I haven't done any YouTube here for ages, have I? So look at these beautiful, beautiful bits of wood. Kind of got like a pink tinge to them. And what my customer's going to do here is actually like, I don't know how they're going to finish the top, but they're going to leave these exposed. I think it's a really nice idea. Just sort of they want to make it feel as big as possible in here, which is wicked. So you can see they've been here and started insulating everywhere. Proper nice job, it's wicked. So what I'm doing today is they've asked me to get this soil vent pipe through because this is chopped and changed in here about 1 billion times. So I did my bit up to the soil vent pipe because this all got adjusted, because even like you can see this has been flushed even with the pocket door in it. So because he really wanted like this flush right through, so it comes right down as one wall. He's gonna do the same this side, I believe, because this is gonna be, I feel like this is gonna be a box in. I think it's gonna be, I don't know. But anyway, this all got adjusted. Look, you can see where it's gonna be originally, then they cut this out, then they moved the roof, and then they've built this thing. And I just left it like that. And I was like, look, whenever you're done, I'll come back and put it in. So that'll take me 5 seconds, but it's not gonna take me 5 seconds. Originally, it was supposed to just go straight up. You can see where that is. But now, because of this roof detail, let's go up there. There we go. Right, because of this up here, I just went up there and spoke to my customer. I was like, look, that's going to be like too close to this. Like, it's going to be hard to like for the roof or whatever. This is roughly, I don't know, it could be like a little bit further over, but it's roughly too close. And I was like, and this one here, I was like, that's definitely too close. But we got him up here and he was like, no, that's now going. He's getting rid of that because it's just, the detailing is too, it's just too much. And I think it sticks up a bit too high above the ridge. See the ridge there? You're not supposed to do that like when it's inside. So that's getting rid of it now. So now what I'm gonna do, given that that's still a bit too close, in there, I'm gonna bring this up, and there's a bolt stuck through here. I might get rid of it. I think there's one a bit closer or whatever. But I'm gonna basically do like 2 bends in, and then hopefully that'll set it over enough to like over here. And then, you know, then the roof will have a nice bit to like dress it all. But just said to him, I'm gonna get rid of this for him, just undo all that so I can get drilled through a bit easier. It's all gotta go anyway. But yes, nice day up on the roof today. I really love tin hats, keep you dry, but it's nice and sunny like this. I'm like, come on, man. I want a bit of sunshine. But yeah, so that's my little job today. And if I get 5 minutes later, I'll take you downstairs to the my little plant room cupboard thing that I've done, because I don't think I've recorded. I can't remember if I've recorded anything on YouTube for that. I don't know, but I've basically got it all in position. So at the minute, the whole house is running off the combi boiler, but I've got everything there ready to go, apart from the wiring. So that one day I can just convert it really easily. So I've sort of put all the pipe work near enough, all in the right places, but I'll show you that later. But yeah, right, let's crack on. Let's get this out and bring this pipe through. Right, so I've got that through there. I managed to, I've got a swept elbow to bring it over, and then a street elbow in there. Managed to wiggle that in there. That's the maximum it can go that way. So I just wedged it in, and then I'm left with that there. So you can see the elbow that goes down there, the swept elbow. And luckily, I mean, can you see it's in between? There's like a joist there and a joist there. My hole saw from below literally just fitted in there. It was really lucky. It would have been the end of the world. I would have had to punch the centre through and then drill from above, but as it just fitted in there, I know it was going to end up being perfect, which it is. So it's got the tricky bit now. I've just got to push that in there. It's a push fit one. And I'm good to go. Right, there we go, that is all done. Got that through, so I had to put the pipe on first, and then these two fittings like that, without the pipe in it above. I then had to go at an angle like that, hook it in, and then there was a bit of a fixed point there, but I managed to wiggle them 45s round, and then just got it in, and then pushed it down, and then that left off there, and then you can see before I did that, I had my laser level up against this. I had to hold it there, and then when that was plumb, I then made a mark there of where the middle of that pipe was. I then took it all out, drilled my hole, put it all back in again, and then slotted it in from above, as you can see. So that's all done. All plumb, all clipped up. It's all clipped plumb, and sticking out the top. Only thing I need to get now is a cowl for the top, and that's done, and now I'm just waiting on the customer. Got everything in position. I want to get the frame in there. Once the frame is in, the boxing can then go across flush with the front of that frame, and then we can do the shower tray below. So yes, all coming along nicely. Also, you can probably hear fixed radio on in the background. If you don't know, I do the Fixed Radio Heating and Plumbing show every Wednesday at 3 o'clock with my good mate Andy Cam. So tune into that. And we're also promoting Fix Festival. They're doing a festival on the 30th of August. So yeah, go and get your tickets. I'll put my affiliate link in this so you can buy tickets for it. Okay, bye. Right. Now I'm back downstairs. I thought I'd show you this. So this is, I mean, you've been seeing this. I've been so tight in here trying to work out everything. So you know that I built this little stand here. I put the power tank in, got all the pipe work in, built all this out so the sparks can get all these cable in behind this box in, which now runs in. I've got the stack through first. Up for the toilet up the back there, as you can see up the back there. That's my hot pipe. I've got the flue through there. You know, even down to when I was fitting this boiler, it was like, where did you put it? I was like, I worked out that just under the door. This door's going, but obviously I wanted to keep everything clear of this doorway before they chop in the new door here. So there was a lot to think about. And obviously on this job, I've got the combi boiler feeding the house. And when we convert the system, obviously we're going to put the hot water cylinder in. We've got the low loss header for the underfloor heating and all the rest of it. It's been quite the squeeze. So obviously my customer here also wanted zoned floors for the heating. So what I've done is I've just done as much as I can, but haven't cut in to anything, because at the moment, like under there's just pipes left. Just they stop there, and the same with that one. They come around and they stop there under that floor. And what I need to do is basically rerun all the heating, so go around and pick up all the rads everywhere and get floorboards up. And obviously it's quite complicated at the minute because there's stuff everywhere. Like I've got a rad there. I don't know if there's a rad up the back here. Oh, that's a touch. No, it's just one here. So I've got to pick that rad up. There's 3 in the lounge over there. And as you know, there was a rad there and I moved it to at the front of the house. I've got to re-pick that up. So that's going to be the ground floor. And then this is a future underfloor heating, which this is going to have, he's going to go out the back here with an extension and go right across with an extension. And I think all of this is going to be underfloor heating. So wherever the manifold needs to be, I said when you block this up, it would be great if the manifold was just here and you could just send all the pipes underneath. So it's just nice and close to this and just pumps out around everywhere. So that might happen. Another rad there. So yeah, and then we've got our upstairs zones. So what I've done here is off the secondary circuit. So this is the primary circuit into the boiler. And then that just goes in there and then out. This is the secondary circuit, so it goes around to everywhere and then comes back here. So we've got the pump out here. I've got Valent to do this design because I've never wired Valent controls with a combi boiler and an unvented cylinder, because obviously in there it thinks it's priority hot water in the boiler. So I didn't know how to do it, so I've got them to draw me up a design and I'm following that. So, which included this little bypass, so I've put it in. So that's the bypass onto there. Anyway, we come round here, and then out this way is the flow for, sorry, the heating upstairs zone, which as you can go through there, I've seen a little pocket sensor in there that goes up, and that is literally just going to tap straight onto there. So I'm going to cut that out and connects up to the flow for upstairs, and then I'm going to rerun the flow upstairs. The return from downstairs, when I get here somewhere, I'm going to sort of come out with an elbow and then drop it down and pick up onto the return there. So that's the return there, little drain valve, little balancing valve, and a valve, obviously if you need it, that taps back into there. And then you come along your flow, and then we've got future underfloor heating zone goes across. Then we've got loft flow, so that goes up. Another little pocket sensor there. I've tried to keep it all symmetrical. So as you can see there, that runs up the back there and up a little there. What I loved about that is that that ended up being symmetrical. So there was one valve, 1, 2, 3 pipes, one valve, 1, 2, 3 pipes, valve. Just thought that was just worked out lovely. And then out the back there, then we've got our ground floor heating, which goes down. Same thing, dry pocket sensor in there. And then you go across up here, and this is our hot water zone valve. So that's going to go up there, and as you can see, this just tucks down, just hugs the cylinder basically. It just comes over there. So that's all connected. This little, normally put an AAV on there, but I had one of these on the van. I had a couple of these because I like to use these for first fixing, these little air vents. So if you've got like a shower that you're sticking out the wall, you just stick one of these out the wall, means the tiler can go around it nicely, really tight, and then you can sort of obviously drain it down easy and all the rest of it. So whenever I'm done with them, I cut them, stick them in the van, and it worked out quite nice there. But I cut a little T and another little pressure gauge in there. It's always good just to have a secondary pressure gauge, you know, in case the boiler one packs up or something. It's just like, there is one in the boiler, but it's just nice to have a good one there. So that's on there. And then up here, I've left this loose for the minute. I haven't soldered that. I've soldered that joint, soldered that one, but I haven't done that because all I need to do is cut that T in there. I think it's my little pen mark. That's level there when it's like that. So obviously when I cut that pipe, I could just pull this out, cut it, solder the T on and put it all back. But I was just trying to do as much work as possible. So I've got the heating expansion vessel up there, one from Spirotech. It was nice and tight. So I've done that, just packed it off with a nice bracket, bit of M10 stud behind just to take it in front of that pipe work. And then I did this little cheeky bend. To be honest, I was doing that. I knew I needed to get from here to there. And I thought it was just a bit of fun, just to get that over. It was nice, like a little anti-gravity loop. And it goes in there like that. A bit of a feature. But yeah, so yeah, there's plenty there. Then obviously once that cylinder was in, got the water softener in, I had to pack it up off the floor here with that as the maximum head height there. This discharge is gonna go back and then run into that. Obviously I'm gonna take that out. That's just on there to stop the smells for a minute. I'm gonna put that back on there, but that's just gonna run out and into that standpipe. And then they, as you can see, those two flexies, they go through the cupboard here. Oh. Through the cupboard here, and like all my jobs, there's no room anywhere. And you can see they nicely, as if someone planned it, that one will go onto that one, and that one will go onto that one. And then that all configures down into those filters and the power tank there in the distance. Oh yeah, mate, it's a hell of a job, this one. It's been great fun. I've actually really enjoyed the challenge of this. So, and then like you say, like the boosted cold at the minute, it's just doing the house on the combi. But when I come to do it, I've just got to chop that out, connect that onto there with an elbow, and then that will feed, that'll go round behind there. It's 28 there, and then behind that stud I had to reduce it to 22 to squeeze it in, and then 22, as you can see, it all set there. Ooh, up into my combi valve, and then out of there, balance cold, feeds the combi, and that does hot water for the bath only. So I've got this combi boiler serving the bath only, just to keep it in use, obviously. And I thought if that's doing the bath, it isn't going to take too much from the cylinder either. And then balance cold upstairs, and that'll do the loft and the bathroom upstairs as well. So yeah, interesting little job. It's been good. Now what I'm doing is squeezing. Oh, now I've got all that in. I've got the VR71 and the VR70, and they are going to go up here on the underside of this, as it's literally the only place I can fit it. There's no more room. So that's going on the underside there. So I've got my screws ready. I'm going to screw it up, and I'm going to lay down here and wire it all up. Wish me luck. Hi. Right, I'm back in the bathroom. So, as you know, I've got these pipes up to the loft. The loft, all the pipework's in the right position. Dropped it all down here, so it all comes through. And now I need to connect this up onto my new system. So I've got the hot flow coming out of the cylinder there. I've got the loft flow and return coming up there. The old gas pipe there, I've turned it into the hot water return. So that's gonna connect up onto there and obviously pick up the basin over there. And then basically, as you know, that's the temporary feed. Obviously there was all floorboards here before, so I just had to poke a bit of plastic through and pick up the existing heating. That is now going to be the first floor heating circuit, so the flow and return. So I'm actually going to run that out here and then go around and feed all the rads everywhere. Yeah, so that's that. But obviously with different heights and stuff, you see these come through at one height. I've got to get through all these joists, and my client wants it all in copper and stuff. So I've just got to work out if I'm notching, if I'm coming up, or if I'm going below, or whatever I'm doing. I've just got to work out how I'm going to pick it all up. But first things first, I wanted to get this bit of barrel out because one, I can lay bits of copper in, but more importantly, these existing joists that are here, is like you see, it's already cut and everything like that, and you can see the height difference in the floor here. Look at this. It's nearly 40 mil anyway. So we've got to get a bath hoist from here into my new stack, which is down there. See the two bosses there. So got one for the bath, one for the basin. So yeah, I was gonna tee off the bath for the basin, but I thought, oh, you know, you could pull the plug on the bath. It could pull the basin trap because I don't think you can have an anti-vac thing here, because I think it's going to be like an exposed, you know, like bronze standard little bottle trap or something. So I'm just going to put it on its separate little feed, and I've got nothing to worry about. But yeah, so the first thing first was to identify whether this was still working or not. Now, you know what all these barrel pipes are? They just like tuck into the wall. Now it just goes in there and then just obviously just disappears into the wall. That goes through into the bedroom, and then I mean, there's a bed and everything up there, so it's a disaster. I'd have to move the bed, get the floorboards up to try and work out where it bloody goes into. So I went downstairs into the basement, which is down below, and I found, like pretty much below it there's an old bit of barrel that's just like open end. It's like dead. So more important, I'm worried if this is like an old gas pipe or whether it's an old bit of electrical conduit or something like that. Either way, it's pretty terrifying because I've got no joins. I've just got a coupling here, and there's nothing that way either. So I'm going to cut it on the coupling to kind of expose the two threaded joints or whatever. But yeah, it's a bit terrifying, to be honest, just cutting this out without completely knowing if it's dead or shut down or whatever. So yeah, I want to get this out and then we can crack on basically. Yeah, so wish me luck. Get in there. Ha 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 ha. Perfect. So I should cut that like tight against that wall there. And then same over that side, look, you see it cut off in the wall there, so completely cleared it out this bathroom. Perfect.